Hello, my name's Julian from writepath.co.uk, and today I'm going to explain to you how to choose a dissertation topic. So, the first question you should ask yourself is, what is my area of interest? Well, what are you good at? What interests you? What fascinates you? What can really keep your attention for a long amount of time? Because a dissertation isn't over in a day. It takes a little while to get to grips with it, and it takes months to complete. So you have to ensure that you're interested in what you're writing about. So the next step is to choose a subject area. You have to ask yourself, what are you good at? Me personally, I was very good at corporate strategy and operations management in business management, but this may not be true for you. You may be better at human resources, or you may be very mathematical in the brain and you are very good at corporate finance, or you might be a lawyer and you might do consumer law. It all depends on what you're good at. So ensure you play to your strengths. Right, now getting down to the nitty-gritty, the specificity of the topic. It needs to be very specific. Okay, a dissertation title which is too broad will probably be rejected by your tutor because there's too much ground to cover and you can't really understand a particular issue in theory without being specific. And I think that in order to be specific, you need at least 3 variables to identify and to tackle in your dissertation. So the 3 variables are the cause, effect, and the subject. Now, for example, the cause could be something like poor customer service. Okay, so let's put this in context. Poor customer service. Okay, what does that mean? It means that if a customer phones up, say Sony after he's bought a computer, and the technical team are not very useful, and it costs a lot of money to ring the support helpline, that's poor customer service, in my opinion. Now, the effect of that is, for example, lower market share or lower sales. If you look at the competitors to Sony, look at companies like Apple, they have fantastic customer service. Perhaps this is the effect of good customer service. So you have to try to link the cause, and the effect, and try to see what is the relationship between these 2 variables. And finally, you want to talk about the subject, a case in point. So the Sony or Apple are both subjects where you could talk about when you're discussing a cause and effect relationship. Okay. The last thing is, your title should be very specific to a particular discipline, like corporate strategy. Okay. So the Sony and Apple example is probably more to do with service operations management rather than strategy, but you could really focus. You should really focus on a particular discipline like human resources or corporate strategy. So moving on. So this is a little diagram I came up with. 3 people here discussing what the topic should be. The cause, poor customer service. What is the effect of poor customer service? Lower market share. And what's the subject? Sony. Yeah. So there's different elements going into the topic. And here's the title which I came up with: Poor customer service leads to lower market share. A critical examination of the corporate strategy of blue chip companies in the high-tech sector, focusing on the cases of Sony and Apple. So that's a very specific title dealing with specific issues. And finally, please remember you need 3 variables and be specific. Thank you.